Good evening. Today I am going to start the upgrade on the server. I've got a bunch of hard drives in the mail today. I actually bought 6 used Hitachi Enterprise grade 2 terabyte drives. This will be the largest that the SAS controller that I'm using can support. So I bought 6. I wanted to buy 8, but couldn't get 8 for the price that I was willing to pay. I actually got a pretty good deal on these. Somebody tried to snipe bid my snipe bidding and we clashed, but I won. But I ended up paying $75 more than I had thought I was going to pay. But still a pretty good deal. Date code on these is October 2009, so they've been around a few years. So I'm going to be interested to see what the smart status says for mileage on these things. But yeah, they last a good long time. I'm not too worried about it. They're going to be in mirrors, so if they fail, they fail. What I plan to do is I'm going to get 4 of them on the first RAID array. I'm going to get all the stuff off of my current existing 2 terabyte drives that are mirrored, that are on the motherboard's hard drive controller. I'm going to move them onto the new 4 terabyte RAID array, get those out of there, pair them up with these other 2 terabyte drives, so I'll have I'll have 8 2 terabyte drives that way. 2 4 terabyte arrays. I'll have way more data. I'll have 2 hard drive ports free. I've got a pair of 750 gig drives that came with all my 250s that I got. I'll toss them on the hard drive controller, so I've got a mirrored 750 gig. Terribly small, but hey, it's at least everything will be occupied that way. So let's get started. I'll switch to a screencast I've got going over here. What we want to do is we want to go storage and view volumes. Now, get that out of the screen. Okay, so we're on view volumes. We're going to start with RAID A. So I click on the topmost array here. Let's get this other stuff out of the way so it's not so confusing. RAID A. Now we'll go down here to this button, volume status. Took me forever to find this button, but here it is. I wish this were a little bit more clear, or I could right click on these would be great, but you know, this is in the web, this is in the web browser, so we live with it. Volume status. Here are the drives. So I'm looking for DA0 through DA3. This will be the first connector on the RAID controller. And what I'm going to do is, while it's on, I'm going to unplug one of these and make sure that I got the right drive. See, these all say online right now. So here we go. I'm going to pop this open, get this out of the way. I absolutely love this Cooler Master case. Can't recommend this highly enough. I love this thing. So, I got all my drives here. I'm going to go back here. Now, it should be this first connector here. Now the trick is to figure out which cable goes to which drive. Okay, I have unplugged P1. Now to make this thing notice there's a problem, I'm going to fire up the shell here. And ZPool, scrub, I've named that one RAID A. So that will start that real quick. ZPool status RAID A. Degraded, and there it is, removed. So that's good. It's noticed that I have unplugged one of them, and it's on the correct RAID array, so I've got the right connector. Let's go view volumes. Doink. RAID A. Volume status. Degraded, removed. Okay, so I don't think that I can hot swap these. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to reboot to get it to see that drive. But at least now I know that it's got the right one. I'm going to go ahead and remove disk 4 as well, and I can replace both of them at the same time. There we go. Now I've got the right one unplugged. That was We'll go view volumes, RAID A, Boink. Okay, so we've got 2 and 0. It's interesting because it should be the opposite, but whatever. DA1 and DA3. Huh. Okay, well, whatever. So it says scrub in progress. I'll wait for that to get done before I shut this down and swap the drives. Status 50% done. The speed has dropped. 4 minutes to go. So I'll wait 4 minutes and we'll shut it down and swap that out. So I'm going to go ahead and start unpacking some of these drives. I took the bubble wrap off of this one. These were packed tightly in bubble wrap. I hope they're good. It's entirely possible at least one of these could be bad, which would put a crimp on my plans. I could at least get half of this done, but I have to wait for some replacement drives. Oh, this drive has an LSI controller. How convenient. I have an LSI SAS controller as well. So, 7,200 RPM, heck yeah. These will be screaming fast. The bottom two in this row here, so there's one. Oh, they are Seagates. Okay. Two. For some reason I was thinking these were Hitachis, but yeah, they're Seagates. 7,200 RPM drives. I pulled the smart status on it earlier and looked at them. The interesting thing with the smart status, and now I'm going off on a tangent, but anyways, the interesting thing with the smart status on these was they all had about 30,000 hours, which puts them at about 4 years of on time, 4.5 years, somewhere around there. A couple of them had 80 power cycles. One of them had 7,700 power cycles. 7,700 power cycles. I can't fathom, unless somebody had it in their desktop machine and it went to sleep a lot and it counted every single one of those sleep and wakes, and somebody was just I let it sleep every time they walked away from it and woke it back up every time they came back. It seems a bit drastic, but wow. You know? It's just whatever works. So there we go. I tell you what, this is a much bigger, thicker, heavier duty drive. This must only have one platter in it. It's only 250 gig. This thing feels like it's full of platters. I mean, here, let's see if I can get this on camera. The drive is way thicker. This is clearly like one platter, and this is clearly 3 times as much, maybe 4 times as much. It is just, it's as thick as they could make it, and this thing is as thin as they could make it. It's impressive. We'll swap the other now. I plan to take these old 250 gig drives and pop them up on Craigslist with my spare RAID controller and see if I can get like $100 for them. Get some of my money back out of this investment. Because to be honest, I got these 2 terabyte drives. Yeah, I got them used, but I got them for $40 each. And I think that was after shipping even. So if I can sell the old one, and I bought 6 of them, so it was $142 shipped or something like that. Not bad. So if I can sell the old ones and get $100 out of them, that's a crazy cheap upgrade. I can't even buy a single new 2 terabyte drive for that price, $42. Quite happy with the deal I got. Okay, the 2 drives are plugged back in. Now I've got to pull it up and swap them out in the array, and it will resilver all of my data. Okay, the system's back up. What we're going to do now is go back to our view volumes. Now, RAID A. One thing I want you to notice is we're using 75 gigs. I got 385 free right now. When this is all done, this is automatically going to go from being a 450, we'll call it 500 gig RAID array, to what we'll call a 4 terabyte array. Just by it'll automatically do that because I'm swapping bigger disks in. I'm swapping the 2 terabyte disks in for the 250 gig disks. So anyways, click RAID A, volume status. Now, unavailable. We're going to click on this disk and we're going to say replace. This one should be, okay, we got DA6 and DA7. That's interesting. Okay, we'll go DA6. Please wait. Okay, I got a green button up here at the top. Disk replacement has been initiated. So, now it's DA6. We'll click here and we're going to say replace. DA7, replace. Okay, disk replacement has been initiated. See, it says all these are online now. Let's see what the alert says. Critical is online. One or more disks is currently being resilvered. The pool will continue to function, possibly in a degraded state. It's degraded because resilvering means it's copying the mirror data back. So all the mirror data for this mirror here is coming off of DA1 and going on to DA7. And same thing with DA0 is going on to DA6. So let's go in the shell and we'll get a little bit more status on this. ZPool status RAID A. Here, let's make this bigger for us. There we go. Enter. There we go. So 9.85 scanned out of 75 gigs, 165 megs per 6 minutes to resilver this puppy. It's going quick. See, these two drives are resilvering. Once that's done, we will unplug the other two drives on this array, which I totally don't know which ones they are this time, but we'll poke around and see if we can find it. See, my problem is DA0. I already unplugged DA0, and I unplugged what should have been DA2. So it seems to be playing loosey-goosey with my numbering. 6 and 7, they should have come up on 0 and 2, not 6 and 7. So this is why I don't like this naming system. Now when I go to unplug the next two drives, am I going to get the right ones or not? I'll just have to watch the console and see if I get the correct drives, which is not ideal. 28% done, 5 minutes to go. 170 megs per second. That's not too bad for spinning disks. I'm curious to see if this will resilver faster than 173 megs per second when it goes from the 2 terabyte to the 2 terabyte, because right now it's going from the 250 gig to the 2 terabyte. So that'll tell us if we picked up any performance, I guess. View volumes. RAID A. Resilver. Status completed. And the green light is on. No alerts. All the drives are happy. Now let's unplug 0 and 1. If I can figure out what two drives those are. Okay. So if we go view volumes, RAID A, removed. Okay, so we got 6 and 7 are still online. Those are my new 2 terabyte drives. And we're going to go ahead and shut down and swap those out. Swapped out the last two 250 gigs. Okay, we are back. Log in. There we go. Now let's go view the volumes. We should have RAID A, volume status, unavailable. So let's click this one first. Replace. You notice that it was 6 and 7 last time, and it's 4 and 5 this time. I'm not digging that, but whatever. Okay, so we got 6 and 7 available this time. I know that there are different 6 and 7 because it did the same thing last time. Replace. Disk replacement has been initiated. Now we are going to go view volumes. See, this is the last time that it's going to... Oh, available 2 terabytes. Oh, it's already jumped it up to being 2 terabytes. Watch what happens when we go to the next one. We will go replace, replace. Okay, the green box you may or may not be able to see, it says disk replacement has been initiated. So, online, let's go view volumes. Space available, 3.6 terabytes, ta-da! So we went from the 460 that it was originally to 2 terabytes when we replaced the first mirror. So let's go shell. And oh yeah, these drives are faster. We're at 200, almost 200 megs per second now instead of 170. So that's cool. 5 minutes to resilver. The nice thing is I'm pretty comfortable. Oh, we're up over 200 now. So what I was going to say is the nice thing right now is I've got the old drives with all the old data still on them. I didn't disable it. I simply removed them. So if these drives like die by morning, if I get up and they're just no good anymore, if I've got smart errors and everything, I won't have lost my data because it's still on those old drives that I just removed from this machine. I just toss them right back in, no harm, no foul. I can mail these back. That said, one of the things I'm going to do tomorrow morning is I'm going to pull the smart status out of these drives and look for any red flags, anything that I should be aware of before I go any further. And I'll see how many hours they've got on them, etc. So what like I had mentioned earlier, I've got to get the other 2 terabyte drives out of the machine. That's the, here, let's get this out of here. View volumes. That is the small array here, the small ZPool here. Yeah, ZPool is the proper word. Anyways, says it's all healthy. But anyways, so I need to move this used 943 gigs. It's all but 1 terabyte. I'm going to move this onto one of these arrays, or I'm going to move it onto RAID A, so that I have it backed up. Then I can remove this and add it to RAID B along with the other 2 drives. And we'll see what kind of performance we get on. Well, I'm not going to shoot any more video of this. I think you've got the idea now. You don't need to see my own personal little benchmarking going on. Yeah, 215 megs per second. It's just chomping away down there. I hear those drives go thunk, 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 thunk. Nice. Sounds pretty healthy. No click of death or anything. Eek. Oh, that speed is just rocking. 216 megs per second. That's that's what, 25% faster? Something like that. It's a big chunk faster. We're doing 217 megabytes per second times 8 for megabits. Yes, that will gigabit Ethernet. It is almost twice as fast as gigabit Ethernet now. So I need to get a dual link card to get that kind of speed across my LAN. I certainly do. I'm going to set my poor little cheap switch on fire. Done! Resilvered. No errors. Well, that's it. Let's go. Like I said, I'm going to copy the stuff off small, put it on RAID A, then I'm going to remove small, and we will have another 4 terabyte array over here. 3.6 terabytes. It's great. That's awesome. So I've got my original Z root that originally had 4 terabytes. It's half full. It's quite full. I'm going to start moving stuff around after I have more room. That's that. That's how you swap out disks on your FreeNAS. Hope this helped somebody. And give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this. Let's get some more subscribers going. I'll make more videos. That'll bring in more subscribers. It's a lot of fun, guys. Like